Are you feeling better now?
Yes, dear, much better. The care here is truly wonderful. With skilled doctors, attentive nurses, advanced machines, and effective medicines, I feel more stable. Sia, come, let's have a walk. Let me share something special, a story of healing that goes far beyond these hospital walls.
Really? Please tell me more, Grandma. Our school project is about ancient and modern medical achievements, and I love to hear your stories.
India's great ancient healers like Charaka and Sushruta were pioneers in medicine long ago. Charak, known as the father of Ayurveda, wrote Charak Samhita, a comprehensive text detailing various diseases, their causes and remedies, rooted in herbal medicine and deep understanding of body and mind. He emphasized prevention, immunity, and the harmony of the body's energies. Then there was Sushruta, who is revered as the father of surgeries. You know, he performed intricate surgeries like cataract removal and nasal reconstruction using instrument he designed himself. Together, their profound knowledge and practices laid the foundation for the blend of ancient wisdom and modern science that defines Indian medicines today.
So surgeries existed long ago, even without today's tools?
Exactly. And they understood the body's defense system called Vyakti Kshamata, immunity. That knowledge even helped scientists during COVID-19.
Wow! So Ayurveda inspired modern science?
Yes, Ayurveda focuses on holistic healing with herbs like turmeric and ashwagandha, which boosts immunity, much like vaccines today.
Speaking of vaccines, how did India handle COVID-19?
India developed its own vaccine, Covaxin, with Bharat Biotech and the Indian Council of Medical Research. Then came Covishield and the DNA vaccine ZyCoV-D under the mission COVID Suraksha. Women leaders like Dr. Gagandeep Kang, nicknamed the vaccine godmother, played vital roles.
That's amazing, Mom. So ancient wisdom made cutting-edge science?
Exactly, Sia. From Charak to Covaxin, a remarkable journey of healing humanity.
Hello, Mrs. Tare. Have a seat. You look fresh and fine today. By the way, kids, I heard your conversation about India's medical journey. I'd love to share how cancer treatment is evolving today. We combine surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. But the big breakthrough is precision medicine. With advanced imaging and molecular diagnostics, we tailor treatments for each patient, saving more lives than ever.
And what about robotic surgery? I've heard it's really advanced.
Absolutely. In India, over 150 robotic systems assist surgeons in performing complex, precise operations, especially in cancer and urology. This means smaller cuts, less bleeding, and faster recovery, mostly found in urban hospitals because of the cost and training needed.
That's incredible. And what happens during emergencies like organ transplants?
Let me explain this, Dia. India created Green Corridor, a traffic-free route for ambulances carrying organs. Police and hospitals coordinate to get organs to patients quickly, saving countless lives. Do you know Delhi alone opened 25 corridors in just 17 months?
So healthcare is really a teamwork powered by compassion as much as by technology.
Exactly, Sia. India's healthcare combines tradition, technology, and compassion. A story of hope and progress.
Doctor, how did India make such quick progress with the COVID-19 vaccines?
Vaccine development usually takes years. But during COVID-19, Indian scientists raced alongside global experts to find solutions fast. The Serum Institute mass-produced Covishield. Bharat Biotech created Covaxin. Both went to strict trials to ensure safety and effectiveness.
With such a huge population, how was distribution managed?
India used digital tools like Even to track vaccines and conducted massive vaccination drives, reaching millions every day. India didn't stop at its own borders. Through Vaccine Maitri, it donated millions of doses to over 90 countries, showing solidarity and leadership.
So India's effort was both scientific and humanitarian?
Exactly. India's fight against COVID-19 was won through collaboration, science, and a deep commitment to equity.
I, the Secretary General, welcome you all to the 25-26 SVM Model United Nations Conference, where bright young minds from across the globe come together to deliberate on pressing international issues. This year's conference highlights the spirit of global resilience. As we enter this simulation of diplomacy and leadership, we celebrate not only policy but also perspective, the power of youth voices shaping a better world through dialogue, cooperation, and vision. Now, I invite the chair to lead the bench.
Good evening, distinguished delegates. We convene at a critical moment emerging from the profound impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, nations like India, Russia, China, France, Brazil, and South Africa showcase resilience and leadership, not only in health but across development, peace, and security. I urge each delegate to uphold this spirit, one founded on dialogue, respect, and collaboration. You have debated with passion, listened with care, and represented your nations with both pride and empathy. In this final session, let us demonstrate our unity and solidarity with every country represented here. With that, I officially declare the Model United Nations Conference open.
Namaskar from the people of India. I, the delegate from India, would like to address the committee. India has led a global vaccination drive that extended support to over 150 countries, while also advancing digital transformation and climate action initiatives. Our S-400 missile defense system reflects India's dedication to national and regional security, serving as a strategic deterrent in times of global uncertainty.
Furthermore, India strongly advocates for sustainability through the Antarashtriya Saur Gathbandhan, the International Solar Alliance, which promotes environmental cooperation and climate change mitigation. We firmly believe that sharing clean energy technology and resources is vital to creating a resilient and sustainable future for all.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I, the delegate representing China, take this opportunity to address the committee. Our nation faced the first wave of the pandemic, learning that earlier detection and discipline save lives. But more importantly, we must share knowledge, not blame. China has actively supported global pandemic control and economic recovery through vaccine exports, medical supplies, and sharing expertise. We remain committed to multilateralism and to advancing the Belt and Road Initiative, fostering infrastructure development and economic cooperation. Our continued goal is to build a community with a shared future for humankind, one rooted in peace, development, and mutual prosperity.
Thank you, Chair. I, delegate from Russia. The Russian Federation deeply values its enduring partnership with India, one built on decades of strategic cooperation and friendship. A shining example of this collaboration is the S-400 missile defense system, underscoring our mutual commitment to regional peace and collective security. Building upon such successes, Russia looks forward to expanding joint efforts in clean energy, defense technology, and space exploration. These initiatives will enhance our nation's capabilities and contribute to a safer, more sustainable world. Indeed, Delegate of India, together our countries will continue to pioneer solutions that ensure both national security and global well-being, guided by mutual respect and cooperation.
Well expressed, my fellow delegate from Russia. I, the delegate from France, reaffirm our nation's strong commitment to sustainable development and pandemic preparedness, with a continued emphasis on climate action and technological innovation. We believe collaboration with nations such as India and Russia is essential for strengthening global health infrastructure and fostering economic recovery. For example, France played a key role in finalizing the 2025 International Agreement for Pandemic Prevention, co-chaired with the WHO, ensuring rapid access to vaccines and medical resources. Additionally, France has pledged 173 million euros to support climate resilient development through loss and damage funds, early warning systems, and adaptation programs. France also values cultural and educational exchanges that strengthen resilience, mutual understanding, and global unity.
Thank you, Chair. Recently, Brazil reaffirmed its partnership with Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, to enhance vaccine production, innovation, and global access, strengthening preparedness for future pandemics. Under our leadership within BRICS, we have proposed a global alliance for health equity to combat socially determined and neglected tropical diseases. Brazil is also a key player in global food security. Our agricultural sector remains one of the world's great breadbaskets, committed to producing more food while protecting natural resources and biodiversity. Through innovative strategies aligning food policies, Brazil actively contributes to health, sustainability, and equitable recovery.
Thank you, Chair. Across Africa, we have faced immense challenges, yet shown innovation and resilience. South Africa's leadership in vaccine manufacturing capacity and continental cooperation reflects our commitment to tackling health crisis and advancing sustainable development. We are also investing in regional digital connectivity to bridge gaps revealed by the pandemic, empowering our communities through technology and inclusion.
Thank you, Chair. The WHO commends the multinational collaboration demonstrated by member states during these challenging times. The solidarity shown by nations such as India and South Africa in ensuring equitable vaccine distribution has been instrumental in saving millions of lives. We continue to work closely with all countries to strengthen global surveillance and response systems, ensuring public health protection across borders.
Thank you, Chair. The UNDP's development tour complements global health efforts. Partnership among nations such as India, Russia, China, and South Africa are pivotal in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, emphasizing inclusive growth, resilience, and innovation. We also prioritize gender equality and youth empowerment as vital drivers, sustainable progress, and post-pandemic recovery.
Thank you, Chair. It is clear that global recovery demands multidimensional cooperation, spanning healthcare, the economy, and security. India's defense advancement, such as the S-400 system, illustrate how strategic preparedness contributes to peace and regional stability, reinforcing the interconnected nature of global resilience.
Well said, delegates. As we conclude our deliberations today, let us uphold the spirit of holistic collaboration, uniting efforts in healthcare, sustainable development, and security. Today's discussions have been both insightful and productive, reflecting the enduring strength of international solidarity and collective resolve. With gratitude and hope, I now declare the 2025-26 SVM Model United Nations session officially closed. May your leadership today inspire the world tomorrow.
As the gavel came down, the 2025-26 SVM MUN ended not as a competition but a celebration of collaboration. Delegates spoke with conviction and listened with empathy, proving that diplomacy is alive in the next generation. From vaccine equity and climate resilience to technology and peace, every voice echoed the same truth: unity builds strength. This conference reminded us that the leaders of tomorrow are already here, ready to create a world grounded in peace, innovation, and partnership. Reporter Ikra signing off.